Hey everyone, it's Lissette here. Welcome to my channel. You guys, I missed last weekend, which was 4th of July. I actually already had a video ready, but since it was 4th of July weekend, I didn't feel like it was appropriate to post this nail design. But for today's video, we're gonna do a Labubu set. Labubu has been so popular lately. I feel like every girl wants a Labubu. They're trying to like collect these little dolls. I don't know what the infatuation is with it. They're kind of pricey at that, just for a little tiny stuffed animal. I don't know, everybody's been so creative with it, painting their little teeth, doing their nails, that I wanted this nail design to be a Labubu nail set. So this is actually requested by my bestie. Let's do a Labubu nail design because that is the closest thing that I will ever get to having a Labubu, because I will not spend money on it. But yeah, I've actually already have it done. So yeah, keep watching and I'll show you how I did this set. All right, you guys, so this is the image that I ended up finding that I thought was really cute. I love the pink Labubu, and the background is like a cloudy pink sky. So we're gonna go with that. I love the fact that she has like a pink bow, and I kind of wanted to add some butterflies into this as well. So yeah, let's just get started. This is what the nails are looking like. I've already prepped my nails and I did apply a peel off base coat. Since I'm constantly doing my nails, I do like to pop off my nails and display them on my wall. So that's why I like to prep nails before even, doing any kind of nail design. We're gonna go in with the extra long coffin non-C-curve tips. I feel like I haven't used these in so long, so I was eager to use this, but we're gonna go ahead and measure out my sizes. I've already pre-measured them out, fitting them from sidewall to sidewall, and then you guys already know, taking out my little side lamp, I'm gonna go ahead and start gluing them down with my rubber base gel. Before you guys even apply your rubber base, you always want to go ahead and just dehydrate your nail plates first, and then you're gonna go in with your rubber base coat. A lot of the times what I've been doing is pinching these sidewalls prior to gluing them down. It just helps the nails fit better. It fits more snug. Since my nails tend to pinch on these sidewalls, this helps just, the application better. But using that rubber base coat, I'm gonna apply that to the entire surface of the nail, line my nail up, and then flash cure that in place for at least 5 to 10 seconds. And then I move on to the next nail. Once I have all of my nails fully on, I do put my hand inside a full size lamp and I cure that for a full 60 seconds just to make sure everything is fully cured and hardened and they won't move. For this nail design, I wanted to incorporate an aquarium nail. I have not done an aquarium nail in so long, so I was like, this is the best time just to try to go ahead and just do another one of these. But let me just tell you something, this took me so freaking long to do. But what I like to do is I like to take out a size. These full cover tips I got from a manufacturer, but these are coffin full cover tips. And what I like about these is it has a high arch, so it'll be easier for everything that I'm gonna put inside the tank to flow better. It's not flat at all, so that's why I like these. But again, I got these from a manufacturer, so I don't have a link for it. But this is me just measuring out my size, making sure it fits from sidewall to sidewall. I don't measure up or down. I use my exact nail size. And as you notice, since this coffin full cover tip is slightly shorter, I am going to go ahead and just cut these down. I want them to be the same length, and don't tell me why I tried using this, because this did not cut at all. But I do end up cutting all of them short using, that tip measurement. I did go ahead and file the sidewalls a little bit. I don't know why I don't have the clip of that, but I did file the part where I glued on the nail to the tip, or I glued on the tip to the nail, just the sidewalls a little bit, just to make sure they are a little bit more blended. And then this is me going in with my rubber base coat, applying that to the entire nail. When it came to the ring nail, that's the one where I only applied it to the top portion where my nail plate is, not the full cover nail, because I did want that to be clear. Cure that for a full 60 60, and now we're gonna go in with the color Peony. This is a hard gel, meaning non-soak off. I'm going to use my oval number 6 brush and then start applying this as so. I apply this gel to all of the nails except for that ring nail. I don't apply it fully. You'll see what I do in a sec. But as far as the thumb, the pointer, the middle, and the pink nail, I'm going to apply this to the entire nail from top to bottom. I do grab a good amount since these nails are kind of really, like they're really long. I apply a good decent amount of wet layer first, take a large amount, and then float that on top. Once I have a good amount that I am comfortable with, I do flip my finger upside down to let gravity, you know, self-level and do its thing. I'm not building these nails up fully. I am leaving room because I did want to encapsulate these nails. So you're gonna see I do a decent amount of full coverage, but I'm not trying to build an apex. I'm not trying to really create any kind of thickness. This is more so for the color to be shown on the bottom. But again, once I do all of this, I do a full cure for 60 seconds. When it comes to this ring nail, I apply this where the nail plate is, and then I drag it down slightly to the left. I don't want to cover the full nail because I wanted this to be, you know, the aquarium nail, and I did want the bottom part to be clear. So this is why I'm only doing it on that one side, and then again I just cure that. Look at how pretty this is. This color is so freaking pretty, you guys. You guys will love it. If you don't have it, I think this is something you need. Like, that color is like a staple. You need it in your drawer. But from there, I'm just gonna go in, I'm gonna cleanse the surface, and then we're gonna go ahead and start filing these a little bit, not too much. I'm just trying to make it a little bit smooth because we're gonna add stuff on top of it. And actually, I did this because I was gonna go in with a matte top coat, but I didn't really want to go in with matte. I didn't want to add any extra layers, so I just smoothed it over with a nail file and the buffing block. So this is what I want to go in with, Marble Ink. This is by Mia's Secret, and I just applied this using some acetone remover. I apply some of that ink on the surface, and I didn't really, every time I do marble, I kind of just like wing it, and it ends up turning out good. But I think I need to watch a class or a course on how to properly do marble ink because it never comes out exactly how I want. I end up finessing it to make it look good, but not how I imagined, if that makes sense. But I end up just dabbing on that pink and then using a small little brush. This brush is actually from Marble Queens, I think that's her name, or the brand. And then I just use that with the acetone, dab over it, and it kind of breaks it up and moves it around and makes it look a little bit more cloudy. So again, we're trying to go for that pink cloudy, you know, moment as the background. So I'm gonna just keep continuing to do this until I'm satisfied with how that looks. I wanted to add a hint of orange, so I took this color out from Nail Reserve. It's called Nectar, and I start adding that. I do dilute it with the acetone, like I did want to break it up a little bit. I didn't want it to be so pigmented, and I think that just worked perfectly. I do have like this ombre brush, I think that's what it's called. And as I am adding it, I'm just tapping it in between the pink, and I just think it looks so, I was so happy doing this. It looks so freaking pretty and good, and I was just so satisfied with this whole process as I was doing it. I was really pleased with myself. And the fact that it doesn't need to be as perfect, it could be sloppy and still come out good. I'm okay with that. I'm all for it. The easier, the better. The sloppier, the easier for me, I think. But I'm just going to continue doing this, and then again, once I am fully satisfied with the placement of the orange, I'm going to go ahead and just cure that for a full 60 seconds. Now that I did that, we're gonna go in with the White Addict. This is another Polish Trim Nail Reserve, and this is where I end up doing the same process, but instead of just like blobbing it randomly, I am going to be more precise with where I put this color, because I want this to look somewhat like clouds. So you're gonna see I'm very precise on where I put this, and just again dabbing it, blobbing it. I do again dilute it with the acetone, trying to break down that color, make it a little bit more watery and sheer. Some people just use like nail, like what do you call that, like shiny top coat to break down the color. I just thought it was easier to use the acetone. The acetone was right there and it broke it up pretty fine for me doing it this way. I thought it was easier, you know, doing it like this instead of adding an extra, you know, layer of gel or top coat into the color. But I was happy with it. Tell me what you guys think. I think it's turning out so freaking pretty. I was super pleased with myself again doing this. But this set, actually, I feel like I haven't did a set like this in so long, so this is something that I really needed. Being pregnant and it's the summertime, I'm just like so miserable, you guys. I'm not even gonna lie, I'm so miserable, but I'm trying to push through and just get it together, because I know once the baby comes out, it's gonna be all worth it. So doing this nail design made me really happy. I'm just letting you guys know that. I took both of these colors, Magic Mist and Twilight Tango. Actually, they're not even colors, they're glitter polishes, you guys. They are so freaking pretty, and I couldn't decide. One of them is like a purple pink, and then the other one has like a orangey tint to it. So I thought both of these will actually work really well with this nail set. So literally, I just took both of them and I started dabbing it on the nail. Again, I didn't really have any rhyme or reason as to where I wanted to place it. I know I didn't want to place it all over the entire nail. I wanted it to just like hints of it on the nail, so that's why I didn't fully cover it, and I'm just going in with the brush and just dabbing it in certain places where I thought, you know, it would look best. And again, as I use these colors, when it came to the white, I did cure that fully before going in with this glitter, but once I finish this glitter, I'm gonna again cure that in place. I wanted to quickly add some stickers. These stickers were so old and I honestly don't remember where I got it from, but I wanted to add some pink stickers, and I think like 2 of these little guys broke, but I was lucky enough to find enough to, you know, put on each of the nails. So I just did like 2 each, and then for the ring nail I just did 1 right on top. I was happy with everything, you guys, so I went ahead and just started encapsulating. I took crystal clear hard gel and, you know, again my oval number 6 brush, and I just started picking up that gel and applying it on top of the nails. I did all of the nails except for that ring nail. I left the ring nail alone, but again I just took a big blob and I just started floating that on top. This is where I focus on the apex and the structure of the nails, and also encapsulating. To me, it makes everything a little bit more like 3D-ish. It pops out, it just intensifies the design underneath, also protecting it at the same time. But encapsulating to me is my favorite thing because it just makes the nails look so good once you finish it. But once I do one good amount, like 1 layer, I do flip my nail over to make gravity, you know, help me and be in my favor. And then once it's all evened out, the apex is exactly where I want it, I do cure that. I cure that for at least 30 seconds. When I have all of the nails fully encapsulated is when I put my hand back inside the light into a full cure for 60 seconds. One thing I forgot I didn't add any butterflies to that middle nail. I wanted to do a design on that, and I actually wanted to do the actual Labubu on that nail, so I didn't feel like it needed a butterfly. It would have covered it up anyway. So when it came to that butterfly, that middle nail, I just didn't apply butterflies. I just wanted to mention that I forgot that I did that. Once that was fully cured, I did go ahead and just cleanse the surface of the nails. I was gonna go ahead and file it, but something told me to wait, so I ended up jumping to that ring nail. And for the ring nail, I ended up pulling out my Bling It No Wipe rhinestone gel because we're going to create the physical tank. that everything is gonna like flow in and all that good stuff. So I take a good amount of gel, I apply that to the entire surface of that ring nail. This is a no white bling gel, meaning it's not gonna be sticky, so everything will move and flow better using this product. So I make sure to apply that from the top to the bottom. I line up my full cover tip. I do not push it down. I do not try to make it flat. I literally just lay it on top, let it hover. If it needs to hover, that's fine. I pay attention to where the cuticle placement is, making sure there is no open seams on that place. If the sides are open, I'm perfectly fine with going back and filling it in. The hardest part is where the cuticle part is. Making sure you have a good seal around that before curing it is the key. So you see, I just cure this in place really quick, and then I go back and I fill those sidewalls in. I make sure my hole in the bottom is open enough for me to fit whatever I need to fit in. But again, focusing on that top cuticle part is probably the hardest part, and where most people like struggle, because you're trying to figure out where the leak is, and if it is from that top cuticle section, that is going to be so hard to try to fix. But as you see, I do go back and just start filling in those sidewalls and then just curing that again in place. Making sure, you know, there's no holes and no gaps where, you know, the cuticle oil can seep out. There's a couple different things that I took out. So I took out these little glass pieces. I call them rocks, or I don't know, but I like the gold ones. I took out some butterflies. I couldn't decide between that one and the other one. I think I ended up using both. I also took out some of these flowers. I thought these was really pretty to incorporate inside the nails. But at this point, this is where I just start trying to shove everything inside that hole. The hole is pretty tiny because this is a coffin shaped full cover tip. It's more narrow at the end, so I do have to like bend the flowers and the butterflies a little bit just to get it in. I didn't want to overpack the nails either, so I do like one flower or 2 flowers and then like 2 or 3 butterflies, not a lot. I do put a good amount of the gold pieces because since those have a little bit more weight to it, it can move things around as well inside. But once I fill that up, I do go ahead and fill it with some oil. This oil that I got is from Good Girls Press. Now, I've had this bottle for so long, but I was running out, so I ended up just filling that with some cuticle oil because, yeah, not cuticle oil, with some baby oil. So this is baby oil inside this bottle, but just to let y'all know, I just like the bottle. The bottle's cute. So I start taking that, it's a dropper piece, so I just line it up and I just start dropping that oil inside, and it works pretty good. I do have a syringe, but you know, this works good as well. Just takes a little bit longer. But once I fill this all the way up to the top, and I mean all the way up to the top because I don't like bubbles. I always end up with a bubble anyway, but if I could get away with not having a bubble, I will prefer that. Once I have that all filled up, I do go back with my Bling White Rhinestone gel and I start covering that tip. And I literally just like plop that on. The oil is still probably on around the edges, but I don't have a problem with the oil. For me, I never had a problem, you know, applying the gel on top of the oil. It cures. I don't know what it is. It just like seals it up and I'm good to go. And this is me trying to show you guys that everything is moving, it is flowing. I do have a small bubble, which is kind of annoying because I don't really like bubbles, but I do show you like it's flowing, it's moving, and I was pretty happy with it. Okay, next, we're gonna go in and we're just gonna start filing. I'm using my 100/180 grit nail file, filing the sidewalls, going over the surface. When it comes to that ring nail, which is the aquarium nail, I do it very lightly, just trying to straight up the bottom part where I applied that gel, making sure there's no lumps, and try to do it as even as possible. From there, I'm going in with my fine taper drill bit and I'm focusing around the cuticle area, making sure that is smoothed out, making sure there's no lumps and bumps, and just perfecting the shape. I do go over the ring nail as well with this. Since I did a really good seal around that cuticle section with the gel, I wasn't too worried about it busting open. So I did go in with this, but if you guys are too nervous and scared about busting open your tank, just avoid filing in general. And then lastly, for filing, I'm gonna go ahead and use a buffing block to buff over the surface, making sure everything is smooth and nice. And I do avoid the fish tank nail because I want that to be crystal clear, so I don't buff over that at all. Now moving to the middle nail, this is where I wanted to try to do the Labubu sets. I am going to show all of the products that I use. All of these polishes are from Nail Reserve, you guys, but I did want to switch up the color a little bit, so you're going to see me adding and mixing. All of these polishes are from Nail Reserve. But what I ended up doing is I ended up using a pencil to sketch it out just a little bit before physically doing the design because I was nervous about the placement of it. I haven't hand painted something in a very long time, and I didn't want to be here for over an hour just trying to paint a little character. So I just did a quick little rough draft, kind of where I wanted the head to go. And then the body, I kind of just like winged it. But after I did the sketch, you're gonna see me start filling in with the color, trying to, you know, make it look like a Labubu. This was a little bit challenging because his face, I don't know if it's a he or she, but the little monsters look mean but cute at the same time. Whoever created this character, it's like I'm trying to figure out what was going on in their minds because they're like little monsters that smile. Like, are they bunnies? Are they little bears? Like, is it a hamster? Like, what are they? And the teeth is just like crazy, like sharp teeth. Their eyes are like mean eyes, but they're smiling. It's kind of creepy if you really look at them. I don't know. Anyway, so I'm just let you guys watch me struggle trying to do this little Labubu. When you see me adding the black, I did dilute that with some crystal clear just to make it a sheer black so the black wasn't so powerful. But again, I'm gonna shut up and just let y'all watch this process of me, you know, trying to do the Labubu. You know, I was pretty happy with how the Labubu came out, I'm not gonna lie, but from there I did go ahead and just top coat everything. I used my shiny knife top coat. Usually I don't top coat, but at this point I was just like, let me just top coat. I top coated all of the nails, and the look of the encapsulated nails are so freaking pretty. I honestly didn't want to cover this up with bling, but you guys already know how to incorporate some kind of bling. So I just added top coat across all of the nails, and then I just fully cured it for a full 60 seconds. To finish these off, you guys already know I had to take out some bling. So this is the light rose and tanzanite bling it box. Of course, we have to go in with the pink side. Hello, it's the pink nail design. And then I took out some flowers. Again, we're gonna go in with the pink and I think the peachy one because, you know, I have a little bit of peach in the nails. Of course, we're going in with some gold caviar beads and some gold cuticle bars. And then I wanted to add this bow. Look how pretty this bow is. I wanted to add it on top of the head of the Labubu, but it was gonna cover the eyes. So yeah, I did a MacGyver move. I ended up cutting off those little ribbon parts. I used what is this? This is like a clipper. I don't even know. I got this from Shein. But I just clipped those things off, and it was pretty easy to clip off, surprisingly. But once I clipped it off, I thought the bow fit perfectly on top of the head. But from there, you guys already know I'm going to go in using my Bling It No Wipe Rhinestone Gel, and I just do placement spots on where I want, you know, the product to go. Usually, I will cover the entire surface, but since I already put some shiny top coat on, I was like, screw it. Let me just do placement. The only reason why I don't like doing placement spots when it comes to bling gel or anything like that. I feel like you can see the excess of the gel. That's why I like to just apply the Bling It Night rhinestone gel on top of the entire surface and just use that as my top coat. But I did it different this time, so yeah. But from here, this is where I start adding all the accessories, you know, the flowers, the stones, the cuticle bars, caviar beads, and then once I'm fully done, I do go ahead and cure that for a full 60 seconds. Y'all, this took me a long time. This took me a very long time, but look at how cute it looks. I was really happy with the set. I think it's very childish, to be honest, but it's pretty at the same time. You guys know me, I have mixed emotions when it comes to something that's very kitty, but I think it is so pretty and it's so cute. Let me know what you guys think of this Labubu set. Y'all already know I don't want to buy a Labubu set, but I'm more than happy to draw one on my nail, you know, because it's inexpensive. Let me know what you guys think of this set. Of course, all of the products I use is going to be linked in the description box. And yeah, I hope everybody had a safe 4th of July, first of all. That is a must. I hope you guys enjoyed the set. Like, subscribe, share if you think somebody will love this nail design. And I will see you guys in the next one. Love ya.